So, do you want to do the intro because it's your
Sure.
turn this time?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Step Into My Playlist, Baby, the podcast where we talk about the brand new tunes that we've been listening to this month. I am Simon,
And I'm Caro.
and we are back, finally, after a month of our disappearance. And this time in a slightly different form, because we are actually not sitting across from each other this time.
Well, depends on how you define across from each other.
Yeah, that's true. You're slightly to my left as I have my two screens on, and so do you, with our mics in front of us. But yeah, I actually moved back to the Netherlands since last month, so we got the first recording in to practice a little bit last month, but yeah, now we've been keeping up through phone messages.
Yeah, and it's been going alright. I mean, I still miss you a lot, but it doesn't feel like you're gone. I mean, you are in Friesland, but you're also still in my life, which is lovely.
Especially in the beginning, right after you come back, I always feel like you kind of continue like normal with the people that you normally would speak to every day. So it kind of feels like a slower landing.
Yeah, not gonna leave you alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we haven't been talking so much about music because there's just not enough time when you're catching up about everything that's happened.
Yeah, and we find it harder now. We've said it to each other that to talk about what songs we want to cover, because we also want to save some to surprise each other for the podcast. So I haven't been sharing everything.
No, me neither. I've been thinking so much about which songs to share that I'd rather share nothing with you throughout the month, because I want to keep the possibility in that I might bring the songs up on the podcast. So I feel like this is kind of a good catharsis, and now we know which songs we want to share on the podcast for this month, and now I'm probably going to bombard you with everything else that I've been listening to as well this month.
Yeah, cool, yeah. I think for the songs that came out this month, I've been trying to look at my favorite bands and see what they came out with. But yeah, I'm a little lazy with discovering new bands lately.
I am not.
Yeah, you have your whole structure of.
Yeah. Oh God. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what you've got for me. Because I don't know any of the songs, obviously, and you don't know any of mine. So I hope that you will like mine as well. But before we start with our songs, I thought we could give a bit of a general overview what we've been listening to this month, because I found it very hard to narrow down my listening history for the past month to only 2 songs. So I would like to talk a bit more about what kind of albums you've been listening to, what kind of artists in general that didn't make it into this podcast, or at least into the songs you've chosen for this podcast. Simon, do you want to start us off?
Yeah. Well, the song that I'll start off with is the one from a Dutch band that I've been following a lot, and they came out with their album, their first album. So that was really cool. It is one of those albums where, so it's called Looking for Faces by the Vices, but it is one of those albums that I've been kind of spoiled with all of the singles that already came out. And then on top of that, they had a big live set in the middle of the pandemic in the summer, when things were kind of opening back up. And they had a sitting down concert. And they actually played the whole album already. And me, as a super fan, I have downloaded every single one of their songs.
Of course you have.
So this has been, the release of the album has been a nicer, cleaner version of the songs. Yeah, I like them a lot more now. I think they always sound a bit rougher and more harsh on their live version, so it's been nice to get a bit more melody and some of the instruments that they didn't play live, obviously.
I get what you mean. I feel like it's nice to have something as a live version, because then you get the actual artists performing it the way they can perform it, so it's their true colors, so to say. It's how they perform. But then sometimes the mixing is a bit weird and the audio quality isn't that good. So if you really want to appreciate the music more, it's better to listen to the studio version, because then you actually know everything that they've put into it and everything they intended, and you can hear every single bit exactly as they intended for you to listen to it.
Well, if they meet the basic criteria of sound quality, if it's recorded in a studio or a radio studio or something, I don't really see any of the deficiencies that I think you do see.
Yeah, I think we've talked a lot about vocals in that respect.
Yeah.
Because I'm quite picky about vocals. Sometimes I can tell when someone isn't really having a good day vocal wise, and I kind of mess up a little, and that really annoys me because especially if I know the studio version, I want it to be perfect, and obviously people are not perfect.
Yeah.
Live versions aren't perfect, but it annoys me because I know how good it could sound, and then it doesn't.
Yeah.
But anyway, you were talking about the Vices and their latest album, so that is one thing that you've been listening to in general, and your first song is from that. Do you want to play that song?
Yeah, no, cool. I'll introduce the song now, yeah. So I said it is Before Your Birth by The Vices. The Vices is a really cool alternative rock band from the north of the Netherlands. They own their little student town that they are from, Groningen. And they've had a really interesting year because they have had a big UK tour coming up, but then because of COVID it got cancelled. But they did some really cool initiatives to keep going. They went to a big theater and asked like, hey, can we maybe record, even though it's super empty, can we record ourselves and do a little music video there?
Mm-hmm.
So they re-released 2 of their songs with an orchestra or
Wow.
some string players. But that was really cool. And then now finally we have this album coming out. Before Your Birth is the one I chose. It was the lead single. The meaning of the song, because I'm always very bad at figuring out what a song means, but I looked it up. So the frontman Flores, he told us what the song is about, and he says that it's kind of about growing up and realizing that everything changes all the time, and thus people also will continue to change, which is a term from philosophy, pantarei, which means everything flows. And he named the example of like, hey, what if you get to know a person better, and when you hear about their past more, it almost seems like the character that they describe, their past selves, it's like a completely different person than the person standing in front of you. Or like in 10 years' time, you will probably be in a place that you wouldn't even think of right now. But it's still you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's still the same person, just kind of a different identity, almost. Yeah, it's nice to dig a bit deeper into the history and the making of a song so you can find out more about it, what it means to the artist, and then you can make your own mind up about what it means to you.
Cool. Shall I just play it?
Yeah, let's listen to it.
All right. Here is Before Your Birth by The Vices.
To see what it's like. And he told you all the stories from before your birth. You tried to make sense, yet it didn't work. Good to me right now. You're so good to me. And he took you to the mountains where the roof was gone. Certain things to pleasure till the pleasure's none. Good to me right now. You're so good to me. Things will always change, yeah, we will never be tamed. Saw you up on the hill, I hope everything's good to you right now. You're so good to me. Things will always change, yeah, we will never be tamed. Saw you down by the river, hope everything's good to you right now. You're so good to me.
All right, that was Before Your Birth by the Vices. What did you think?
I liked it very much. It sounds like a typical Vices song. I mean, I don't know many of their songs, but the songs that I know, that's what I associate them with. Like a full sound, kind of like the guitars are always something that I like about their music. Even though it's not always the same, but I can rely on the Vices to have a good guitar sound, which they do.
I would say it's even less typical for them now, because on this album, I'm pulling up the songs, especially Trouble and Boy and Good Morning City, Let Me Sleep. They've got so much of a reggae sound now, especially the rhythm.
That wasn't reggae though.
And this wasn't, yeah. So this was more in the old style. I guess.
Okay. Okay, thank you for showing me that. I will definitely listen to it more. And I'll also have a look at the album.
Yeah, now I wish I played a song which showed more the new sound. I remember one friend of them said, like, because they got a fourth member at some point, and a girl that is friends with them, and I talked to her a bit about the band, and she was like, he is a very good addition. Not only can the frontman Flores now play more extensive solos, while the other one is playing, the new guy is also very good looking, which is gonna be very good for the popularity. I don't know what you think. I think we've talked about this as well. I don't like, for me, a live performance is about the music. It's not about, she was saying like, oh, now he has more because the other one is playing that and that. He can jump on tables and make it a big like a show, but to me that's just like a musical. It's like it's fluff, or like when you have backup dancers for band. Like, no, I'd rather have it sound good. I don't need anything around it.
Definitely. I really don't care what people look like on stage as long as they know how to play music properly. And I go to events and gigs because I want to hear the music.
Yeah.
I don't really care if there's a show around it. I mean, it is nice if there's one there, but it's not a deal breaker. And also, the music should always be in the foreground. Should always be the most important thing at a show, in my opinion.
Yeah. Ooh, what do you think about, do you like it more if a band is more just playing song after song, or if they introduce or chat a bit in between?
I mean, it should be a conversation. Well, not a conversation, but they should say something as well, not just play and play and play, because that's kind of impersonal. I like when they talk to the audience, and I mean, not the general, oh, you're the best audience ever.
Oh my God, yeah, if they say that.
Oh God, no, please don't. But if they engage their audience and kind of say a bit about the song, or just like weird things.
Yeah.
When they point out people in the audience and chat to them, that's always fun.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, should we move on? I think we've been talking for a very long time. We have to cut a lot out this time. I'm so sure.
Nah, it's all
fun.
What's your song?
I thought I'd give a bit of an update what I've been listening to in general. So I've been listening to a lot of stuff, like albums and different genres. But one thing that I've been really enjoying this past month, and don't judge me, is Dua Lipa's latest album. I mean, I'm a bit late to the party because it came out in 2020. It's called Future Nostalgia, and it's a dance album. And it's really good. It's really well produced, and I just love her voice. She has that distinctive timbre, so you can tell that it's her. It's not just any kind of pop voice. Dua Lipa has a very distinctive voice. And also, a nice thing for me is that it's my range. What she sings, I can sing as well. And it's just so easy to just vibe along and, sing with her. And it's really fun. And her album, as I said before, Future Nostalgia, is a dance album. So all the tracks on it are pretty dancey and pretty upbeat. And I really really like that at the moment. I just want something happy in my life that gets me
Cool.
dancing.
If I think dance, I think because of the current trends, electronic.
No, it's more like it has 70s and 80s vibes. So the synths and the beat, you can tell. So it's more like that oldie type thing. Now, the reason I mentioned that I've listened to Dua Lipa is because I've also been listening to other dance type music, reminiscent of the old 70s and 80s songs. And this is what the song that I've chosen for my first song that just came out is related to. So it's called See You Again by Roosevelt. And Roosevelt is an artist which I've also been following for quite some time now. I think since about 2016. And I knew him way before that. So he's actually called Marius Lauber, and he's German. Again, a German. I am sorry, but he is really good. He's a singer, songwriter, and producer. And I got to know him in around 2009 because he used to be the drummer of an indie band called Beat Beat Beat, which I found on YouTube when I was just randomly browsing for new music back when I was a teenager.
I'm going to look it up now. Beat, beat, beat.
Beat, beat, beat. So beat, exclamation mark, beat, exclamation mark, beat, exclamation mark.
Ah, I see.
And yeah, I was really sad to hear that they'd broken up quite early on. So I think they only ever released one EP or something, and it was really good, and I loved it. He became a solo artist with his project called Roosevelt, and he mainly makes electronic pop, synth pop, indie electronic music. He's quite big, actually. He's got 1.6 million monthly listeners on Spotify,
Wow.
and he's remixed artists such as Glass Animals, Rise, Sandara Karma, and Churches. And yeah, most popular in Mexico City and Berlin. Interesting. And yeah, you know, that kind of dance music, like 80s type music that I've been talking about. I've actually found out what this genre is called by doing a bit of Wikipedia research. And it's called hypnagogic pop. According to Wikipedia, it's music that evokes cultural memory and nostalgia for the popular entertainment of the past, principally the 80s. So this is a term that we've been looking for quite a long time, because I know you as well. You like music that sounds like it's from the 80s, even though it's from right now.
Exactly. Because I said I like 80s music, and you corrected me. Do you like 80s music or music that sounds like the 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you're actually referring to is hypnagogic pop, which I find is really cool, sounds really cool.
Yeah.
And so Roosevelt has released his latest album, which is called Polydance, late February. So actually it's not from this month, but I mean, I think it was the 28th, 26th of February or something, so I've counted it towards March. So yeah, for everyone now out there, here's See You Again by Roosevelt.
Don't you fall into despair. I got your back this time. Tell me when you're coming home.
Well, that was See You Again by Roosevelt.
I like it. It's really cool.
Yeah?
First thing I thought, wow, this reminds me of like a car ride at night.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. In one of those 80s cars. Kind of cabriolet, have the wind in your hair.
Yeah. I like electronic. I thought I didn't really, but a lot of times I'm like, oh, I can appreciate the real instruments, but little melodies of the synths are also really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have kind of a balance. I also like handmade music, so to say, but sometimes these electronic beats and just the synths are so nice to switch things up.
Yeah.
And for me as well, I love the synths in this. And the percussion as well. So, like, it sounded like a mix of actual and computer-generated percussion, which I really enjoyed. And, yeah, fun fact, apparently Roosevelt has never made a song without a tambourine in it. So can you hear the tambourine in this? I don't know. And what I especially enjoy about this song is the build-up to the chorus, in the pre-chorus. It's just like, you know, the chorus is coming and then it hits you and it's so dancey. Super cool.
That was my negative. I thought that they
it?
could have done a more of a build-up.
Oh,
During,
okay.
like, after the first chorus ended and you have the first verse, I think, or the second verse, and the bridge, I was like, whoa, okay, give a bit of a breather before introducing it again. And especially, like, during a bridge, I like when it builds up and you have, like, a oomph with the last chorus, but I didn't really get that.
You're thinking more of EDM music, I think, where you have that massive drop as well, sometimes. But yeah, good to hear your take on it. And if you want more, I can recommend the whole album. It's really nice.
Cool. Any other songs in particular from the album?
I like Sign, which is the last song, which is also one that I would have chosen if it hadn't already come out last year. So...
Oh, they're in Netherlands as well.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I hope that I can get some tickets. Because I've really appreciated his work more. I mean, it's always on my radar, but I'd never thought of going to a show. But now that I've listened to this album again and again on repeat, I think I really want to hear him play it live and dance to it with other people. That's a dream.
Exactly. Ooh, is that a segue into my second song? What is it again?
If you want.
Well, now the segue is gone. What is my song again? I forgot.
Yeah, so for listeners, Simon had a wonderful song planned, and then while I was doing the last minute prep for this episode, realised that it isn't on UK Spotify, so we can't actually use it. So we had to come up with a different backup plan quite last minute.
Yeah. It was actually a segue because they're called Uit, another Dutch one. I don't know. It's funny that you said like, "Oh, I'm sorry," another German one. I feel like I'm quite proud to share. Like,
you're not
cool
very
Dutch
sorry at all. You just like push all the Dutch bands into everyone's consciousness, which is nice.
Yeah, and I think it's cool that I'm able to find these cool smaller bands, whereas the general top 40 music or the popular music in the Netherlands is not at all this genre, but it still exists. It's just a little more underground.
And that's why we're here. We're promoting all the fun little bands that no one knows about yet.
Yeah, exactly.
She says after having promoted someone with 1.6 million monthly listeners on Spotify.
that was you, not me. Anyway, the band that I'm playing is Uit. Don't know a lot about them. I really like this. I played this over the summer last year a lot. It was really fun. Gives me a lot of energy. But they're a little band that started also in a student environment. This time in Amsterdam, because they all went to the conservatory, and the four of them formed a band, and they have their own little genre. I forgot what it's called, something pop, and they got famous pretty quickly through the regional festival season in 2018. I don't know if that's a Dutch thing, but there's so many little like student room festival, and every city has their own little festival, and then there's these like festival dedicated throughout the country for upcoming bands, and they can kind of tour the country.
Oh.
Do you know anything like that?
I mean, I remember when I was in Belgium over the summer in 2017, they had a lot of festivals that were free and just like generally had good music, great music, local people playing with their bands there, and it was all for free.
Yeah,
And
that's so cool.
I think Belgium and the Netherlands have such a good festival culture in general.
Yeah.
I mean, in Germany they have festivals as well, but usually they're quite niche. So we have metal festivals and indie rock festivals and hip hop festivals, and they're also quite expensive to go to. So not everyone would. It's mostly people in their early 20s, maybe in their 30s, but no one else goes there.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like in Belgium it was more of a community experience. Everyone went to the festivals.
Yeah.
And people would congregate there and make art together and just hang out together. It was so nice.
Though I sometimes feel like I like being in my little bubble if people my age and stuff go. If it's like really a studenty festival, I like it. It's maybe the last one that I went to before the pandemic hit. There were so many old people, and I felt a little awkward. I couldn't really get into the zone and really jam out.
I mean, I don't know if that's a thing that I've picked up in the UK, but I find that here people from all ages enjoy music way more. When I go to a show, the general age, there's no general age. People from all ages are at a show. Whereas I remember in Germany, people were quite young all the time.
Oh.
So older people wouldn't actually go to shows unless the bands were quite old. So like my parents, for example, they went to all the bands shows that were popular when they were younger. But like just like newer bands or like trendier bands, you'd only see younger people there. But in the UK, I feel like I remember when I went to the War on Drugs, and I was one of the youngest people.
Did you go to them?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Didn't I never tell you? No? But I was one of the youngest people at the show. Most people
Whoa.
were actually in their 30s and 40s. I saw my lecturers there. And then I was standing there because I was on my own. And as I always do when I'm on my own at a show, I read a book. And then someone who was in his 50s, I think, came up to me and chatted to me about my book.
I do remember the story. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's such a weird experience. But I feel like here in the UK, people of all ages enjoy music way more at festivals and gigs.
I'm more likely to approach someone reading a book than being on their phone, I think.
Yeah.
Reading a book, you seem more interesting.
Yeah, and also I was reading a book about Joy Division, so that might have played a part.
Yeah.
Because back in the day when I was young, I listened to Joy Division.
What is your second song?
No, you haven't played Oud yet.
Oh. Okay. Here it
Why
is.
should we play it? It's fine.
I hope you like it, guys. Here's Bad Sweet Pony by Oud.
Now you know that I'm on the dark side, faking it but keeping it cool. Give a little bit, I know you want it too, and baby, that
Cool. Well, that was Bad Sweet Pony by Uit. I get very happy from this song.
Yeah, me too. I really like it as well. I feel like this is so repetitive. Oh yeah, thank you for showing me this, Simon. It's such a great song, but it actually is. I love it. And I think that might be my favorite Oat song
Oh, cool.
as of yet. I mean, I've only listened to 3, but this is the best one I've listened to so far.
Nice.
I especially love the guitars in this one, and
Yeah.
the little synth sounds and the boom sound that was in there sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Really fun.
Yeah.
And what I didn't really like, well, I'm in two minds about it, the autotune part. It doesn't really fit with the rest of the song. It's like Daft Punk,
Yeah, it is.
and I just don't think that fits into the song.
Yeah.
I mean, it is fun on its own, but it doesn't fit the atmosphere the song is creating for me. But apart from that, super.
I think I was biased. I heard something different now. There's definitely a little, like, attitude way of, as if she was speaking to someone. Like the line, and baby, that's cool. Like, it was, and it's really nice how playful she was in, like, just before the chorus, you have that guitar riff, and she was singing along to it.
Yeah, kind of ad-libs. I like it.
Yeah, like she's not, she's very much at home in the song, and just enjoying
Mm-hmm.
and going off the main lyrics. Yeah.
Cool. Great. Now to my next song, No Fools by Attawalpa. So I found this song because it was recommended to me by the Spotify algorithm. I think I was just playing my songs, and then, you know, when you've got the play similar songs after your playlist ends feature on, and I've recommended songs to you that I've discovered in that way before, because it's just such a great thing. The algorithm is fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you, Spotify.
I love the artwork. It's like I can't say the decennia, but it's like a really cool old horror movie.
Yeah, I was thinking the same, and I feel like from having checked out his artist page and just read up a bit on him, Attawalpa, who is a British-Peruvian singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist and producer, he's kind of a performer. Like, when you look at his Instagram as well, all of his pictures are kind of artsy, and he does some self-presentation that is really cool. It's not just your general, I'll take a selfie. No, it's always a bit different, has an angle on it. And I really like just looking at his pictures of himself. It looks really fun and cool.
That's cool.
He has collaborated with people like Wolf Ellis, Misty Miller, Jamie T, and Mick Jagger, which really impressed me. Especially because he's quite small. He only has, like, only in quotation marks, 28,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, and only has a couple of singles out, and I think one EP.
Damn, I don't know any of those names except for Mick Jagger, but Mick Jagger is, like, amazing. How can you... He must know someone in the business.
Yeah, he does, I guess. And yeah, this song, No Fools, is from 2018, but is his most popular song on Spotify. I think his, like, other songs have, like, 20,000, 30,000 plays, but this one has 500,000 plays. So people like it a lot, and I like it too, and I hope you do as well. So here's No Fools by Attawalpa.
Selfie pose, 'cause you're too cool, let me
Yeah, so that was No Fools by Attawalpa.
Holy shit, I love that.
Nice.
One thing I wrote down, it surprised me a lot because the guitar sounded pretty raw, had like more effects on it. It sounded like more of a grungy band. So I thought it was gonna go pretty rough in the chorus, but it didn't. And then every single chorus also sounded quite different. It wasn't like repetitive at the end of the song. I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for it to get done now. I was like very curious throughout the song how I was gonna continue.
I did find that, as you said, very interesting as well. And he's definitely a talented producer. Just the way he orchestrated the whole song is super fascinating. And I really enjoy every single bit of it. I especially like the lightsaber sound that was in there. I mean, to me, it sounded like a lightsaber, but I don't know what it actually is. I find it really cool. And I also enjoyed the backing vocals, which sounded very ethereal, like the harmonies, and was also groovy at the same time. And to me, it's a very driven song, so kind of workout material if you want to have a good run to it. And what I especially liked as well is the very beginning, where it kind of goes ding dong, like you're ringing a doorbell, and the song is kind of letting you in, which I love.
It's cool. And at the end, they have pianos, which kind of reminded me of this old horror theme.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Organ.
You can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this will definitely. I think this will become my new addictive song that you.
Hooray! Oh, that makes me so happy. I'm glad that I could introduce you to it.
Yeah. Where? Tell me more about the guy. Where is he from? Was he? No, he wasn't German, right?
No, British Peruvian.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I read an interview with him, and he seems like a very cool guy. I think he lives in London with a flatmate, and he just produces his music from home.
That's really cool.
And apparently he will release more songs this year, so stay tuned for his other stuff, which I'm, super excited about.
Yeah. I like how his artwork and stuff, it is still kind of it falls into some cliches, but it's still creative within that. It is like, this one is very vintagey, but it is like a bit of a comic book or a bit like a horror movie, which you don't see that much. Yeah, it's nice. It's very aesthetically pleasing as well. It's not too weird.
Yeah, he's got his aesthetic down. And an all-rounder, overall cool guy. Would recommend. Can't wait to see what he's up to next.
Yeah. It's so cool that he's in the same city as you.
Yeah.
I get like anxious, like, I want to make use of the time and meet him or whatever.
Yeah, I guess you just have to come back very soon, please.
Yeah. I will. This summer. I'll be there.
Yes, and then we can do all the things. You can just drag me along, and I will be happy to meet all the artists, and we can go to so many shows. And unfortunately, that's all we've got time for today. Our podcast is coming to an end. Oh, yes. Just so that we don't bore you guys too much.
Yeah.
I think we've rambled on for long enough. And you will have us again next month when we have 4 new songs, or maybe more. We don't know. Maybe we switch things up again. Songs for you. And
yes. And for next episode, quickly, I'm already teasing it to Carolyn because I don't want to tell her yet what it is. But I got something cool in the way that I'm going to introduce one of my songs. I'm really excited for it.
I'm a bit scared, but you already told me that I've got the right to veto. So if it's really bad...
So maybe you guys will never listen to what the surprise is, but I hope you listen back in April. And
yeah, I trust you, Simon. So I guess we'll keep it in, and you can stay tuned for that, dear listeners.
Yeah, cool. I'm really enjoying this as well, Carolyn. It's really fun. I've re-energized tonight, and also looking like the whole process is fun. Editing is fun. Researching the songs is fun. The only thing that I thought is like, it's such a cool song. I wish I had better memories to make with this song instead of Lockdown.
Oh, yeah.
Like I wish I had something.
I can totally get that. But we're on the road to recovery, so to say. Exactly. We are getting there. This summer is going to be so much better than last summer was. I tell you this, and I believe in it as well. So it's going to be fine. And
would be cool if we could record one of the summer episodes if we're together.
I know. I was thinking we could just sit in the park with your Zoom recorder, and then we would call the episode Park Live after the Blur song. That would be so good.
That would be cool, yeah. Different setting. Nice.
Yeah, let's try to do that, please.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. I already look forward to next month. Nice.
Definitely, me too. I have so much stuff to share with you now as well, because I've listened to so many songs this month, which I haven't been able to put on this podcast. So I will probably bombard you with messages during the next few days. And yeah, I'm so excited about this whole podcast. I'm still so energetic about it that I don't think we will give this up very soon.
And it's not draining, it's giving energy, so that's nice, and it's not a lot of work.
Yeah. Okay, I hope this episode was fun to listen to. If not, please send us your feedback. We would love to improve. We would love to know what you think.
Yeah, what you like, what you don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah, please tell us.
Oh, an incentive to send us an email. If you do send us an email, we will give you a shout out on the next episode.
Oh, yeah.
So keep them coming.
Cool. All right. Well, I think that was it then.
Yeah. So thanks for listening, guys, and catch you soon.
See you in April.
Bye. Step Into My Playlist Baby is hosted and produced by Simon and Carolyn. This podcast is not on social media, but you can email us at playlistbabypod@gmail.com. Our theme song is Step Into My Office Baby by Belle and Sebastian. Thanks for listening and catch you in April.